Have you ever noticed that the harder you try to convince someone you're right, the more they seem to resist? It's as if every argument creates another objection, turning a simple conversation into an endless battle. Most people believe that winning means having the best answer, the strongest logic, or the last word. But the Stoics saw things very differently. To them, true strength appears the moment you no longer feel the need to prove anything. This may be one of the hardest lessons to accept today. We live in a world where everyone feels the need to explain, justify, respond, and persuade. On social media, at work, and even within our own families, it seems we're expected to defend every decision we make. But there is a hidden price behind the need to convince other people, and that price is much greater than most of us realize. Once you understand why the strongest people remain calm while everyone else is arguing, you'll never feel the same urge to get involved in debates that only steal your peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that our true responsibility is not to control other people's opinions, but to govern our own minds. Epictetus taught that we suffer whenever we try to control what has never been ours to control, and very few things are less under our control than someone else's judgment. That is why Stoicism does not teach you how to win arguments. It teaches something far more valuable: how to live in such a way that arguments become unnecessary. A person with strong character doesn't need to announce it. A person with inner balance doesn't depend on other people's approval to know they are on the right path. Behavior. 1. If you constantly need to convince everyone, you're still giving other people the power to define your worth. Think about it for a moment. When someone feels the need to constantly explain why they made a decision, why they deserve respect, or why they're right, there is often an insecurity hiding beneath those words. After all, if they were completely secure in who they are, why would they need confirmation from strangers? This happens in the workplace, where someone is always trying to prove their competence. It happens within families, where every decision must be defended. And it happens most of all on social media, where many people spend more time trying to convince others than actually living. The Stoics understood that peace begins when we stop depending on external approval. Your value doesn't increase because someone agrees with you, and it doesn't decrease because someone disagrees. The less you depend on validation, the freer you become. Behavior 2. Silence communicates a level of confidence that no explanation ever can. Pay attention to people who are genuinely confident. They don't feel the need to respond to every provocation. They don't explain every detail of their choices. They don't waste energy trying to change the mind of someone who has already decided not to understand. There is an old image that captures this perfectly. A tree full of fruit stands quietly and firmly. It doesn't need to announce its strength. Its fruit speaks for itself. People are no different. Those with inner stability speak when it matters, and remain silent when they realize that no amount of words will change the outcome. Many times, the more someone tries to justify themselves, the more suspicious they appear. But the person who remains calm shows that their confidence does not depend on other people's reactions. If you're enjoying this message, subscribe to Stoic Spring. By making these reflections part of your routine, you'll strengthen your inner peace and develop the maturity to face life's challenges with greater calm and wisdom. Behavior 3. Actions will always be more powerful than arguments. Words can impress people for a few minutes. Results leave an impression for years. It's easy to find people who promise a lot, explain a lot, and argue a lot. But when it's time to act, they disappear. Then there are those who rarely talk about their goals. They simply work, improve, and allow their results to speak for them. That is one of the greatest demonstrations of confidence. You don't need to announce your discipline. It shows in the way you live. You don't need to convince anyone that you're trustworthy. Time will reveal it. You don't need to keep telling people you've changed. They will notice through your actions. Arguments may win conversations, but only actions win reality. And there is an even bigger mistake than arguing to prove you're right: behavior. 4. Arguing feeds the very people who are looking for conflict. Not every argument exists to discover the truth. Many exist only to feed someone's ego. Some people don't listen to understand. They simply wait for their turn to speak. Others turn every conversation into a competition where the goal isn't learning, but winning. The moment you enter that game, you accept rules you never chose. Epictetus taught that we should focus our energy only on what is within our control. Another person's opinion is not under your control. Neither is the way they interpret your words. So why give away so much time, emotion, and peace trying to control the impossible? Very often, the greatest sign of wisdom is not giving the perfect answer. It's recognizing that the conversation isn't worth another minute of your energy. Behavior 5. Let time reveal who was truly right. We live in an age of instant responses. Everyone wants to convince people now, be recognized now, and solve everything immediately. But time has a quality that no argument can replace. It always reveals the truth. Someone may maintain an image for a few days, perhaps even for a few months, but character always reveals itself through consistent actions. In the same way, people who live with integrity don't need to chase recognition. Over time, others begin to notice who keeps their promises, who remains steady during hardship, and who was only making noise. That is why the Stoics valued consistency so deeply. They understood that a lifetime of honorable actions is worth far more than 1,000 arguments won. In the end, almost no one remembers who had the best comeback in an argument, but everyone remembers the person who showed calmness, strength, and character when it truly mattered. The next time you feel the urge to prove you're right, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I defending the truth, or am I simply protecting my ego? That single question may save you years of emotional exhaustion. True authority never needs to announce itself. It is recognized. True confidence doesn't require applause. It remains steady even in the face of criticism. And true strength is not found in convincing everyone around you, but in continuing to live according to your principles, even when no one seems to understand. In the end, Stoic wisdom can be summed up in one simple idea. Don't explain. Don't argue. Let people discover the truth for themselves. If this video gave you a new perspective, leave a comment saying, "My actions will speak for me." By doing so, you'll reinforce that commitment to yourself while inspiring others to do the same. And be sure to subscribe to Stoic Spring. Every video is another opportunity to strengthen your inner peace and develop the maturity to face life with greater calm, balance, and purpose. Now continue to the next recommended video and keep turning these timeless teachings into a daily practice.